I'm John Buchanan. Now what we're going to do within this video is we're going to learn how to save everything. There we are. Now, what do I mean by that? Most of the time that we're working on Logic projects, what we want to be able to do is to start and work and save our projects and then come back to them and carry on working. And because those projects exist entirely on our computers, every time we reopen our Logic projects, of course, all of the assets that we used are still connected. Audio files, the MIDI regions that we've programmed, everything just opens and we can carry on working. But what if what we want to do is to share our projects with other Logic users, or indeed we want to be in a position where we can render out our files as sort of stereo bounces and share those either as MP3s or as full frequency files. What we're going to do within this video is to learn where everything can and should be saved. So before we do that, I've just made this tiny little piece of music and I've made it to demonstrate where we're going to save different things, but let's just have a listen to it as we're here. Now then, let's start in a slightly unusual place in terms of where to save everything. Let's suppose that actually what I really like about this track is the bass line, and not just the pattern that it's playing, but the sound that's playing it. What if I want to be able to use that sound again in another project? Well, in order to just do that, maybe what I'd have to do is to remember that this is the track that used that particular bass line, and I'd have to import it from this track into my new project. That's all a little bit of a faff. I might just prefer to save this sound as a preset, and actually there are two ways that I can do that. So let's start there. If we wanted to save a sound, firstly, we might decide that the thing that we really like about it is the fact that it's this alchemy patch, this sound that is playing this alchemy patch, and we want to save this sound as a preset. Well, if it's the alchemy patch that I particularly like, that's absolutely fine. What I can do is to come to this area at the top and I can save this as a sound. I'm in a position to call this house bass. And then what I can do is to press save, and now that sound is saved as house bass. It's added to the library, and I can remember that it's effectively become a patch in its own right within Alchemy. Fine. But what if I like the bass line through the compressor and the bit crusher that are being used on this sound? In other words, it's not just the Alchemy sound that I like, but it's the processing that I've added to it instead. Well, effectively then what I need to do is to save this sound as a channel strip. What that means is all of this channel strip is now going to be saved as opposed to just the alchemy part, which is what we've saved a moment ago. So if I wanted the bass line to always be processed through this compressor and this bit crusher because they're part of the sound, I would come to the top here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my channel strip setting as. And when I click on that button, what I'm in a position to do is to create a folder of user channel strips within this area. Now I've effectively got a user area already, JB Music. This is where the Cinematic Pads collection is living, this collection of sounds that I've made, which is available for you to buy, in fact, through Teachable if you like. So effectively what you can do is you can start building up your own collection of sounds in different categories of folders. So if this was effectively going to be a collection of bass sounds that I was going to make, I could call this basses, make a new folder down here, call it basses, and save it with my house bass name. And what that would mean, let's just do that now in fact, is if I made a folder called basses and I called it house bass, is that if I decided that what I wanted to do was to set up a brand new Logic instrument down here, and I decided I wanted to load a sound for it. Let's just empty this channel strip for a moment. If I keep the library open and I come to user channel strip settings, what I'm going to find is that I've got a folder called JB Music, and now I've got a folder called Basses. And if I click on my house bass, not only does it load the Alchemy patch, but it brings in the compressor and the bit crusher as well. So two ways of saving sounds. So we now know how to save sounds and channel strips, but what if what we want to do is to save a project? Now, again, if you're just working on your own computer, you don't need to think about this too hard. You can save your Logic project, and every time you open it up, it will open it just where you left it before. But let's suppose you're working with a collaborator, and that collaborator doesn't have the assets of your project. We're going to talk about what the word assets means in just a second, because that might mean a whole bunch of things. So where and how am I going to save this project? Well, I've got a couple of options. Let's suppose what I want to do is to create a folder which contains everything my collaborator is going to need. Now, what might that mean? Well, this project is made of the bass line that I have made here, which includes the sample, the Alchemy sample at its core. And what it also has is some audio files which are taken from the Apple Loops library. Well, if it turns out that the person that I'm working with has the same Apple Loops as me, then fine. The project will just open and it will import those files, no problem. But what if they don't? Not everyone installs the Apple Loop library when they install Logic, so it could be that that audio data is missing. Similarly, I might be working to picture, in which case my Logic project is going to have a movie file. I might be working with Ultrabeat kits that I've made, put together or sampled myself. I might have gone to town and recorded, I don't know, impulse responses for Space Designer. All of those are separate assets. And if I want the person that I'm working with just to be able to seamlessly open up my project and make sure that they can carry on working on it from the point where I left it, I need to take all of those things into consideration. So where am I going to do that? Well, if I come to File and I come to Save As, I'm in a position to make a whole bunch of decisions about where I want this to go. So firstly, I'm going to choose the location, the desktop for now, where I'm going to save my project. And what we're going to do is we're going to call this How to Save Everything 2. It's like the sequel to How to Save Everything, coming soon to a movie screen near you. Well, if Everything Everywhere All at Once is a movie title, I don't see why How to Save Everything 2 can't be the sequel to an absolutely amazing movie. Right, anyway, let's move on. So I've got two options. I've got the idea of being able to save my project as a package or as a folder. Now, this entirely comes down to the way that you like to work. A package contains all of the assets that you might want to put into your project within one little Logic icon-based project. Inside that package, everything is contained. Other people like to make a folder for each of their individual projects, and a folder contains the Logic project, and then in separate folders, all of those assets as separate things. So I'm going to find that if I go for the folder option, I've got a Logic project, and then I've got a folder called, let's say, audio files, which contains the audio content. Whichever of those options I choose, down at the bottom, I have a chance to have a look at all of the options for the things that I might choose to put in that package. So obviously the Logic project is going to go in there, but alongside that, if I want to include the audio file data, which I'm using within my project, the sample audio data, well, I'm not using any sample content within this particular project. I am using the Alchemy audio data, so that's going to take the sample in Alchemy that is my baseline. I'm not using any Ultrabeat, and I'm not using any Space Designer impulse responses either. So effectively, I'm just turning off the things that I don't need, including the fact that I'm not using a movie file either. So I've given my package a name, which is How to Save Everything 2, and I'm going to hit save. And when I do that, Logic is going to save that as a package to my desktop. Let's go and find it so we can see what that looks like. If I come to the Finder and I come to the desktop, here is How to Save Everything 2. And this is my little project which contains everything. Now, it looks like it doesn't contain anything at all. It looks like it's just a Logic project. But within this package, if I Control-click, what I can do is to show the package contents. And when I do that, I can see that inside here, I've got a number of different things, including some media, which in turn includes the audio files. So here are all of the audio files that are contained within this project. And we're going to find the sample that is at the root of the patch that Alchemy is using to make the baseline. So I've effectively got a package, and within that package, I can see what that looks like. Let's have a look at the alternative, which is that I could save this as a folder. If I come to File again and Save As, I'm going to give this a new name to not overwrite this, and it looks like our film series is moving on to its third installment. That's exciting. And this time I'm going to select Folder. Now this is going to do exactly the same thing. It's going to take exactly the same data, but it's going to save it in a slightly different way. So when I press save this time and we come back to the desktop, we're going to find How to Save Everything 3. And now, rather than a Logic little icon here, instead I've got a folder. And within that folder, here's my Logic project. Here are the audio files, and here are the sample Alchemy files. So effectively what I've got is everything saved within a folder. And I have to say, that's how I tend to work. I tend to save my projects as folders in that way. Now, there are a couple of other things to say, because of course, sometimes we don't want to share the whole of the project. What we want to do is to share a version of this piece in a number of different ways. So if I come to the File menu and I come to Share, I've got a number of different options here. If I want to save my song to Music, Apple Music, I can do that directly here. And similarly, I can do the same thing if I want to save it to my Voice Memos app. But if what I want to do is to save or share my project to, let's say, with a collaborator that is in the same room as me on the same Wi-Fi network, I can come to AirDrop and I can save my project across like this. So I can either save my song, which will literally just create a bounce, which will of course then get airdropped across to whoever I'm collaborating with. It's effectively a rendered file of my project. Or alternatively, what I can do is to save the project itself. And when I press the share button, I'm in a position to take all of that stuff across. Now, the only thing to say about that is that you will get a warning like this if it turns out that some of the assets for the project that you're trying to save are outside of the project package. In other words, if you want to airdrop, what you'll need to do is to make sure that you've saved your project as a package, not as a folder. Save it as a package, and then when you go to File, Share, and then to AirDrop, you'll find that that will airdrop across just fine. So no problems there, I just need to resave it as a package. And then when I have done that, I can then go looking for whoever it is that I want to save that with, but no one's here. Well, Will's here, but he's being good. Okay, we're then going to go to File, and we're going to come to Share again, or the alternative is that what I could do would be to mail my project to somebody, and again, I can either do that as a project or as a song. Now, bear in mind, if it turns out that your project contains a movie file, don't share it via email because no one's going to thank you for that. And it won't work because it could be that that movie file is just absolutely enormous. So that's a good option if you're working with kind of MIDI only projects. But the moment you get into big audio or big movie file territory, probably email isn't going to be the best way to share it. So effectively, what we've got now is a whole bunch of ways in which we can work with the data within our projects. And there is one more thing to say, the humble MIDI file. What if the person that I was working with said, I've got everything that I need, but can you send me your little bass line as a MIDI file? I just need the notes. Well, yep, absolutely, you can do that. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to come to File, and this time we're going to come to Export. So what we're also in a position to do when we're working with data like this is we can also export a number of different track types. And what I could do would be to select all of the MIDI within my project as a MIDI file, which if I was working with a number of different MIDI files within my project, I wanted all of those to be openable at once, I could do it like that. Or alternatively, I can take the currently selected files and I can create a selection as a MIDI file. And what this is now going to do is to say, okay, what do you want to call that? And I can just call this baseline. And what that will do is to add a .mid, in other words, .midi, if you like. It's not in any way a judgment on the baseline itself. Let's be clear about that. It's effectively just a .mid file, and what that's going to do is to be a file that I can send. And again, I should now find that within my How to Save Everything 3 file, I've got my baseline .mid file there. And the great thing about that is that I can double click on that, and MIDI file data contains tempo information. So if somebody just opened up that project, the notes would come in and they'd be at 125 beats per minute. The sound wouldn't be included, but that means it would be possible for someone to assign a different baseline to this particular part. So effectively, within this video, we've looked at how to save everything. Patches, channel strips, projects, assets, MIDI files. What more could you want? Go and have fun.